Madam, namaste, madam, namaste. Natraj here, madam.
Namaste, doctor. How are you?
Fine, fine, madam, fine.
Seeing you after a long time.
Yes, madam.
Okay, good afternoon, dear delegates, respected delegates. Today, I am going to introduce Dr. Monica Gulati, madam. Madam serves as the registrar, dean and registrar at Lovely Professional University in the Punjab. She holds a PhD from Punjab University earned in the year 2000 and has been an integral part of Lovely Professional University since the year 2004. Madam, Dr. Gulati madam has significantly contributed to the advancement of pharmaceutical sciences. Notably, she lead a team in developing a targeted release microsphere of 5-fluorouracil aimed at targeted release, reducing the side effects associated with colon cancer treatment. Under her leadership, LPU School of Pharmaceutical Sciences has expanded its academic offerings, including the introduction of MPharm programs in various specializations and PhD program with over 20 scholars. The school emphasizes research evidence by numerous publications in Scopus indexed journals and grants from agencies like the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences Technology and Punjab State Council for Science and Technology. Dr. Gulati madam has also facilitated collaborations such as the partnership with Cooper Surgical Origo to offer an MSc in clinical embryology at LPU, enhancing the university's academic portfolio. Her research interests focus on formulation design and evaluation within the broader area of pharmaceutics. With a publication record spanning from the year 1998 to 2022, Dr. Gulati madam has authored multiple journals, articles, and reviews accumulating over 8,000 citations and H index of 46. Dr. Gulati education and research continues to drive LPU's prominence in the field, fostering innovation and academic excellence. It's my privilege to introduce madam. Session hand over to you.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction. So I'll just share the PPT.
Okay.
Is it visible?
No, madam, not yet, madam.
Not yet. Is it visible now?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Visible, madam.
It is visible in slideshow mode also.
Yes, madam. Yes, yes.
All right. So, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Nataraj for inviting me, for sharing my views with all the registered delegates. So I thought that today we'll share about something which is kind of the in thing these days. We have been talking about research, we have been talking about academics and everything, but currently everywhere it is the digital footprint which is asked for. So, with the researchers also, we have a lot of digital footprint which is available, and we should be there, we should be available on the social media. When we talk of social media, the immediate thing that comes to your mind is, Facebook and Instagram and so on. But if we talk of the serious kind of social media for researchers, we have so many other options which are available and which we must use if we want to increase our research footprints. So starting with that, it is going to impact your professional journey a lot. How it is going to do so, I'll share with you with a practical example from my own university. Uh, so as you can see, social profiling is basically, the research profiling is basically a place on the internet. Everyone is using internet these days, wherein your entire research is summarized. There are so many sites, the serious social sites, I would say, serious social research sites, which can summarize your entire professional work. And whenever anybody, if one of the registered delegates wants to find out, I'm speaking something, what is my own profile, he or she can easily go to Google Scholar and find out what Monica Gulati has been doing in last so many years. So it is a place, it is a space on the internet wherein your expertise can be easily showcased and can be easily accessed. So it is like an Aadhaar card, It is like an Aadhaar card. Wherever you go, you show your Aadhaar card. You are taking a flight, you will show your Aadhaar card, You get a ticket by any person from traffic police, you will show your Aadhaar card. You want to take a loan, you will show your Aadhaar card. So it is a similar kind of profile which will be, including all the information about your research. So the analogy that I will like to share is that of Aadhaar card. It is an author's or a researcher's Aadhaar card kind of thing. So what is the use of this? Why should we go for research profiling? You see, it basically shows the analysis of publications that you've had. So now just 5 minutes back, the gentleman, the faculty member who was introducing me was able to tell the exact number of citations, tell my exact H index, and in fact, I never formally shared my CV. And either it was shared by one of my colleagues here or he found it out himself. But it is so publicly available. That is the reason, they didn't ask me. So it was so kind of him, to have found out everything and share it with the entire audience. So publication analysis is available publicly throughout the world. Anybody sitting in Greece, anybody sitting in London can also access what Monica Gulati has been doing in last so many years as far as the research part is concerned. Then it will also show the citation analysis. How many times the work done by me or the work published by me has been cited. So these days, everything like H index, Citation index, your citation count, it all matters. And I was sharing with you that does affect the performance of not only a person but also the academic institute to which this researcher belongs. I'll share a very interesting story with you. All of you might have heard of these 2%, scientists among top 2% by the Stanford University. The list is published every year. So what happened about 4 years back, we had two people only from the pharmacy department of LPU. So then I realized that many of us are not showcasing our work on the various research profile portfolios or the the like index should be there, or we should be there on Scopus, we should be there on ResearchGate. So the Stanford people, they garner the entire information from Scopus and Web of Science both. So what we did was we almost forced everyone, each of the faculty members to, start with the research. Every faculty member of my school, my department, every person is there on these research platforms. So after that, what happened? 4 years back, it was 2, then it rose to 4, then it was 5, and this year we had 7 people from our department, only because initially, their work is almost the same. In 2 years, in 3 years, the work would not be so much that it would not be traced. But the thing is, they were not there on the various research platforms. So the showcasing or the research profiling becomes very important if you want to increase your own visibility as a researcher, as well as the visibility of your institute as a research institute. Then another thing is, if somebody say, suppose uh, Dr. Nataraj is probably working on HPTLC, right? And there is some particular drug on which he has worked a lot. And there is one gentleman, say, sitting in Colombia, he wants to work on the same thing. He will just Google out on the Google Scholar and find out that this is the researcher. So Nataraj sir is there. He is sitting in Vishnu College of Pharmacy. He is already worked on this. So what he will do is he will simply send a message, and they can collaborate. So collaboration networks can also be created by all this. Then another thing is, for funding also, it is very easy. So if there is, say, suppose there is an Indo-Russia project which has been advertised, and there is a Russian scientist who wants to work on microneedles. So one person sitting in, say, Delhi in India has worked on this particular topic, right? So that gentleman who is sitting abroad can contact this fellow and apply for the various. So this fellow is sitting in Moscow, the other fellow is sitting in Delhi. So physically, there are no chances that they are going to meet each other. But when it comes to research profiling, the social media kind of thing is there, he or she can find out that, okay, this gentleman or this lady sitting in Delhi has worked on this, so we can collaborate and we can apply for this Indonesia grant, and then probably, they will get it also. Another very important thing is patents and innovations. There are many social platforms, social research platforms like ResearchGate. They will talk about your patents and innovations also. So they allow you to push your patents as well as innovations there. So if I want to find out, say if I am working on, say, probiotics in Alzheimer, and I want to find out who are the other scientists, I can easily access the ResearchGate of those people. And interestingly, ResearchGate allows you to follow, like you follow on LinkedIn. So ResearchGate also allows you to follow people, follow the researchers, and it also allows you to block the people also. So if you have any notions that somebody is trying to duplicate my work, or he or she is trying to follow my work unnecessarily, and I don't want that person to see, you can block those researchers also. So patents and innovations is one thing which is, comes under IPR, and most of us are very, very passionate about these things. So this is our intellectual property. So if you don't want any people to access that, you can block that person also. Then it also helps in identifying the expertise. Say, if I, similar
సార్ మేడం కనెక్షన్ కట్ అయినట్టుంది సార్ ఇది.
మేడం కనెక్షన్ కట్ అయింది, మన ఇద్దరే బాగానే ఉన్నాయి.
సరే సార్ అది సార్.
Yeah, ma'am, it's not audible, madam.
సార్ కనెక్షన్ కట్ అయింది సార్ మేడం.
మేడం డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయ్యారండి, మేడం ఈస్ డిస్కనెక్టెడ్.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Is my screen visible? Bottom line information. शरफुद्दीन सर को जरा भेजो.
No, madam.
Screen is not visible.
Not
No,
visible, madam.
I'll check it. There is some issue with this. देखना था.
Yes, ma'am, it is now visible, madam. Hello?
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am, is it visible
All
now?
right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, madam.
So as I was sharing with you, how does it help us? So, it helps us to approach our collaborators, our followers, and the new researchers who are doing their work in the same area for any kind of collaborations for increasing the impact of your research by means of citations and so on. Another thing is, it avoids misidentification. Now there, I know that there is some Monica Gulati, Monica, and Gulati, with who is a dentist. So, since I have a particular social media research profile, so my ORCID ID would be very different from hers, and it is very easy for any researcher to identify me and know that I am some other
Yeah,
Monica.
screen visible.
Sorry?
Your screen is visible, madam.
It is visible now, no?
Yes, visible, madam.
All
It's
right.
good,
So,
madam.
I should carry on, no?
You can carry on, madam, no problem. All visible.
Can you hear me?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
All right.
Visible.
Yeah. So, as I was sharing with you, there is the chances of misidentification are also minimized because my identification would be different as compared to the identification of some other researcher who may be having my name. The same name may be shared, but her profile would be different from that of my profile because my ORCID ID will be different, my ResearchGate ID would be different, my Vidwan ID would be different, and so on. Yeah. So how do you prepare? Let us come to the crux of the presentation. How do you create your ORCID ID? Many people call it ORCID ID, but it is actually ORCID because C stands for the contributor. So it is researcher and contributor identification. So you can see when you will open anybody's, see, can you see this is it, Monica Gulati, this is this exact ORCID ID number is also there, right? And what they do is they will keep on telling you that your this research paper has been published, it is now available. Scopus will tell you now your research paper is indexed in Scopus also. So it shows you have a new notification that you there has been a new paper that has been added to my profile, that is neurodegenerative diseases and brain delivery of therapeutics, bridging the gap using the dendrimers. So this paper has been added to my profile on 26th August 2023, and on 29th August, can you see the date here? The day I received this mail or notification from them. So the day it is published, the very next day it is added to my account, and the ORCID people, they inform me that this paper you have already published. So even if I am not aware that my paper has been published, because generally, as researchers, what we do is, the moment we see that the paper has been accepted and we send the approvals, everything is fine, we don't bother much, because your principal, Dr. Nataraj, we are busy with the administration and everything, we don't get time at many points to see also whether the paper has been published or not. But they are so kind, they will send us a message that this paper has already been published. So if we talk of the various platforms on which you can show your presence as a researcher or as an author, first and the most important one is ORCID, as I showed you. So it is I've given the link also by which you can create a profile. I will go to detailed step-by-step process also. Then Scopus is very important, because Scopus has a very different kind of reputation and a highly cited kind of thing. Then Web of Science is another, almost equal respect, equal prestige as Scopus. Then we have ResearchGate. You can see this is it, R and superscript G. Then we have Academia Edu. This also keeps on sending you messages almost every second day. They will also send you that this paper has been cited. Academia Edu will send you the mails saying that your paper has been cited by so and so also, or so and so read your paper. That also they'll tell you. Then we have Impact Story. This is relatively less known kind of thing, but again, a very important kind of platform. Then we also have Vidwan, which is basically an Indian kind of platform for researchers. So all you have to do is take your papers and upload them on Vidwan. And there are many agencies, many government and semi-government agencies, which will refer only to Vidwan. They will not refer to Scopus. They expect you to use the Indian platform also. So they make it mandatory that you should be there on Vidwan. Your profile should be there on Vidwan. And then we have this very interesting thing known as Google Scholar. Each one of us has been Googling out certain things for so much of information which is available. But as far as if I say I want to understand about the maybe wound dressings, if you put it on Google, there will be so many ads, there will be so many personal views that it becomes difficult for you to filter out what is the serious kind of information and what is the personalized kind of information. So Google has another platform particularly for the researchers or the scholars, which is known as Google Scholar. So on Google Scholar, you will get, if you put wound dressings on Google Scholar, you will get only the articles which are scientific in nature. You will not get any ads. You will not get any personal views. You will not get any kind of non-serious kind of things about wound dressings. So how do we go about it? My first advice to all of you, all the young researchers particularly, is that you should start as early as possible. So the moment you enter into your final year of bachelor's or first year of master's, and those who have not yet prepared, joined these platforms and are amongst the faculty, they should do it immediately. Then create the author IDs. And then, most of these IDs, most of these platforms are linked to each other. So you can then start the linking process also. Web of Science is linked to Scopus. Scopus would be linked to ORCID. Many a times when I submit the papers or when I review the papers, they ask me whether you are connected, do you have an ORCID ID? I say yes. So they don't ask me any other information. They ask me just to connect to my ORCID ID, and then they'll not bother me for anything because my ORCID ID contains all the information. So as I was sharing with you, C stands for contributor. So it is open researcher and contributor ID. Basically, this is what ORCID means. It is a unique one, persistent and non-proprietary. Why do I say persistent? Because initially, when I did my PhD, I was at Punjab University. So I had prepared my ORCID ID at that point of time. So then I shifted to Lovely Professional University. My address changed. So there could be a confusion that this is the same Monica Gulati or is this some other Monica Gulati? She was working at Punjab University, Chandigarh. This lady is working at Jalandhar, Lovely Professional University. But no, since my ORCID ID remains the same, it is very personal to me. It is very unique to me. So it is a very persistent kind of thing. Even if I go tomorrow, I may go to France, I may go to Russia, my ORCID ID remains the same. So all the papers that I had published, say 20 years back, 25 years back, 30 years back, they will come with me to that France or Russia, wherever I go. So it is a very persistent kind of ID. It showcases your entire profile, even if you move from one place to any other place. It has 16 digits, and then it distinguishes us from any other researcher across the. So there could be a Monica Gulati from pharmacy only, from pharmacy discipline only, who was working in maybe late 1980s, but her work would not be added to my work because she has some other ORCID ID, I have some other ORCID ID. So ORCID ID moves with us throughout our career, improving the visibility of my grants, my research, my scholarships, and everything else, right? Whenever you are applying for grants, the funding agencies also ask you for ORCID ID. Why do they ask for it? Because they want to understand what kind of work you have already done. I may say I have, 100 publications, and they will ask me about the list of top 20. I'll send the list of top 20, but they want to confirm whether those 100 papers belong to me or not. How many of them are from my PhD scholars? How many of them are my own work, which was done 20, 25 years back? So they will ask you for your ORCID ID. So it is good that you start preparing the ORCID ID as early as possible. Then ORCID ID is connected with Scope also, Publons also. And how do I prepare it? So this is, my dear friends, the link for, it is basically orchid.org/sign-in. So from here you can become a member of ORCID. How do we do that? So this is what it is. When you will open this link, you will be seeing this page. So on the right hand side top corner, you will see this is sign in or register. So if I'm already a member, I will register. If I'm not, I will sign in. If I'm not a member already, I will register for this right hand side, right? So there are 3 steps. So this also, ORCID also tells you there are 3 steps. So go ahead with these 3 steps, right? So this is how you register. Don't have an ORCID ID yet, so register now. All right. So you will register like this. They will ask you your first name, write your first name. It will ask you your last name. If you want to give, it is okay. If you don't want to give, that is also okay. Then they'll ask you for your primary email. Then they'll confirm it. Then they'll ask you for any kind of additional email. Herein, they basically expect your official email, and here they will expect your personal email. So once you do this, you have to go to next, and once you fill this, you will see this. Now what they have done is they have already given the entire list, right? So if there was some Ruchit who had done this, wants to, a person by the name of Ruchit, right? Registers in the ORCID ID, they will give you the entire list of all the Ruchits whose data is there with them. So it is Ruchit Mahabir, Ruchit Kheda. So you say, none of these are me, so I will continue with the registration. Or if you feel that your, profile is already there. So you will click on this, I already have an ID, go back to the sign in. So if you have not done, if you have not already prepared your ORCID ID, then you are going to click here if you want to register for this, right? So once you register, then they will ask you for your password. For this password, they will ask you, more characters should be there, letters or symbols should be there. So you enter this and then you confirm the password. And then they will ask you whether you want it or not. You want emails to be sent to you or not. And then you go to the next step, right? So the 2 steps are over. And here you have your ORCID ID. See? This is what it is. So this is my profile, initial profile. So it says my name is Monica Gulati. Then you will need to fill your employment details if you want to. You can fill your educational qualifications if you want to. You can add your professional activities. You can say these are the patents I've got, or I delivered this FDP, or you can say I wrote this newspaper article. I have this kind of membership. I have obtained this membership, and then you can carry on with your funding also. Then we come to Google Scholar. So with the previous slide, you already have created your ORCID ID. Then we go to the Google Scholar. Now, Google Scholar is one of the most reputed kind of and most easily accessible. Right? So Google Scholar will, as I shared with you, will eliminate all the material which is non-scholarly. So all the ads will be gone, all the jokes will be gone, all the stories will be gone, all the personal views will be gone. So go to Google Scholar, and how do we do it? So Google Scholar gives you a very interesting thing is there. If you open a paper by Google Scholar, it will also show that this paper has been cited by so many people. So, half your review is done. If you are writing a review article, or if you are writing the review of your own thesis, and you open an article and it shows it has been cited. So if you open an article of say 2004, so in the last 20-21 years, whatever work has been done in that direction will be falling under the cited by. So you will find many useful papers under this, and then you click at the paper and it will open in Google Scholar again for you. Abstract, or if it is available publicly, the entire paper will open. Another very important thing is it provides the citations also. So if I am writing a paper, the citations are very beautifully formatted. You can simply copy them and paste them. All right. So formatting of the references would be already done by the Google Scholar for you. And then Google Scholar also provides the patents and the legal documents. It also provides the H-index and I-10 index. I'll show you how. This is mine. So you see, it is how many times I have been cited. This is almost a year old screenshot. So how many times I have been cited, you can see it is 5854. H-index today is something around 44, 45. That time it was 40. This is I-10 index. I hope everyone knows what is the difference between H-index and I-10 index. So these are all the publications, and how are they arranged? They are arranged by the citations, not by the year, not by the importance, not by the impact factor, but how many times they have. So my highest citations for any paper are 314. So this paper, which I wrote more than 20 years back, is now cited 314 times. So I also know which of my papers is being the is the most popular one. Which of my articles is the most popular article? So how do we create the Google Scholar author ID? This is can you see the link at the bottom? Scholar.google.co.in, and then how you set it up. This is how we are going to prepare, So log into www.scholar.google.com and then go to my profile link, add the publications, and then make your profile public. They ask you if you want to make your profile public or you don't. So if you want to obviously we would like to make it public because we want the people to know and connect to us. So this is when you open, this is what you get. So they'll ask you choose an account. So if there is Jayanti, she will, she can use this and then track citations of your articles that appear. So your name would be there, your affiliation would be there, your area of interest you have already filled. I mean, you have to fill all this, right? And then next they will ask you which articles are yours. So if there are certain articles which are by the name of some Jayanti, but it is not you, you can deselect it also. Then it will ask you public profiles help your peers find and follow your work. They also come with personalized. You will tick make my profile public. Otherwise, you will not tick and you will go ahead. So your profile is done. You have made your profile. You have selected the articles. Now you are going to the settings, whether you want to make it public or you don't want to make it public. So ultimately, when I've done everything, this is what I get. Then we come to ResearchGate. Now ResearchGate is even more interesting, you see. In ResearchGate, you can make, you can blog people, you can follow people, and very interestingly, you can ask questions also. In fact, this is very, very important for the new researchers who are doing their masters or who are doing their PhD. There is a whole bunch of very experienced, very accomplished researchers on ResearchGate who are many a times ready to help. So if I am not able to find an answer to any research problems, what I do is I put the question on the ResearchGate. You have an option to put your question and the answers would come from entire world. Wherever any researcher is working on it, he or she is going to respond to you. And second thing is, if you respond, if you are able to troubleshoot the problem of somebody else, it gives you marks also. It increases your scores with every sharing, with every answer to a question and so on. So users can follow the activity of other users and enter into discussions with them also. And they can also block the interaction with other users, right? So for signing up with ResearchGate, you have to go to ResearchGate and click join for free. And then you have to give your information, which would be like this. So go to ResearchGate, click join for free and see. Can you see this is the kind of interface you will see, discover, and you just have to click here. How you are going to do this? If you are going to connect with the LinkedIn, go through this. If you are going to connect through the Facebook, go through this. And then it will ask you, who are you? So if you are a student, you are a medical student, you are a researcher, and so on. So as you can see, they are saying that there are almost 80 Nobel laureates who are already there on the ResearchGate. So, they are all there to support you. If you ask any questions, they also answer. Then they'll ask you for your details, your first name, institutional email, password, and so on. Then you just have to click on this, I agree to the terms and conditions. Then they will give you the list of publications, right? So you will say, this is for this, I am an author, or you will say, this is not me. So you will, either select or deselect the publications that ResearchGate is showing you. And finally, they will tell you that, if you don't want to go through all those papers, you can skip. And then this is what you get. This is my ResearchGate profile. You can see this is my picture. They will ask you for this is my qualification. This is my designation. Then my citations. And then it is, they sort the papers by chronological order. Like I told you, Scopus, Google Scholar. Google Scholar aligns the paper based on the citations. With ResearchGate, it is in chronological order. The latest would be at the top, the oldest would be at the bottom. Then we come to Scopus. So Scopus, as we all know, belongs to Elsevier, and it has so many papers and so many publishers for it, and it will give you so many numerical quotients also, like H-index, site score, SciMago journal rank, and SNP, source normalized impact per paper. So these are the things which will tell you where do you stand in your area. You know, your paper may be having an impact, the journal in which you have published your paper may be having an impact factor of 13. But if in your area, there would be many which would be ranked at 40. Vis-a-vis, there is a person who is in physical education, in which the highest impact factor journal would have an impact factor of maybe 20. So your SNP will go down. So source normalized impact per paper depends upon the quality or the impact of the other papers also, other journals also. So for registering with Scopus, you have to go to the login page, then register, and then they will keep you asking for the various informations, and then finally they will give you the documents. You have to select them. So this is how you do. So and this is what it finally shows. So can you see, this is my Scopus profile. So it shows that my citations, they started from 1997 and they increased like this and so on, right? These are the most contributed topics also, you can see them. So very quickly I can find out who is the person who is, whom I need to approach if I'm stuck somewhere, or how many academic corporate collaborations are there, how many international collaborations are there. So you can see almost 60% of my papers have some authors from abroad, and there are about 4% papers in which somebody from the industry is there. So all this, you can see, these are the author matrix cited by so many documents. These are the preprints, so they are going to be published very soon. 731 co-authors I have, there are 90 topics and so on, right? So that's all from my side. I'll be very happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much for your patient listening. I'm so sorry, there is somebody telling me I can't hear anything.
Your voice is audible, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Any questions from the audience?
Dear delegates, please, any questions are there? Any questions from the delegates?
You can put it in the chat box also.
Dear delegates, any questions are there? Can you please put in the chat box? Otherwise, you can ask. Otherwise, you can put in the chat box.
I just hope some people will create their research profiles now.
I think there are no questions, I think so, ma'am.
Yeah, I think if there are no questions, we can move ahead.
So hereby I'm closing the vote of thanks, madam. So my name is Brahmaya, working as assistant professor in the Department of Pharmaceutics, Vishnu College of Pharmacy.
Right.
It is great honor to propose vote of thanks on behalf of Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, Bhimavaram, on this 1 week online National FDP1 challenges and innovative solutions in the drug discovery and developments. And I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to our speaker, ma'am, Monica, ma'am, for sharing valuable insights with us, like what are the different research platforms like Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Orchid ID, Scopus ID, etc., and how to create those IDs and what is the impact of that IDs in our profile. So that is so much, that is so informative, madam, and I think so it is very useful to all the research scholars and also all the faculty members, so on. Thank you very much, madam. So thank you for your valuable insights, and thank you so much. And thanks to all the participants and all the delegates, and thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank
you,
you,
madam.
doctor. Thank you. And I would like to extend my thanks to all the organizers of the event of FDP and all the delegates also, and my special thanks to Dr. Nataraj for having me here. So thank you so much, and I have shared. I'll share the PPT with the Dr. Nataraj, and my mail ID is also there with him. So afterwards also, Dr. Saab, if there are any kind of questions, I'll be very happy to connect on mail also. Thank you so much.
Sure, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take your leave now.
Thank you all. Hereby I'm ending the section. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.